welcome to the Ramon Foster Show, brought to you by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's exactly what it is. And you know what?
That's
brought to you by...
That's just for you. I know how much you... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm petty like that, and you enjoy that too, man. Listen to me. Who would have thought it? Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't, and I need you guys to be honest too. You didn't either, DK. Come on with it, because I'm not sure if you had a pick, but I had a pick, and I picked us not to win. But I did say I'd be happy to be wrong. Okay.
You know who had the pick?
Who?
Eddie. And he's walking around over there like this.
Look at Eddie, man. But seriously, what a game. Everybody played a part. Legitimately, everybody played a part. Went through two quarterbacks, multiple running backs, ended up having Steven Sims also run the ball also. There was a lot going on in this game to really try to pull out a team win. I saw Chase Claypool a second ago tweet out a team win. We really needed that. Like, when you start seeing that and them understanding, not even understanding the concept of team, the concept of, look, it was us. And I know what he want to say, us versus everybody. That's what you really want to say in these moments, man. And it really was that, because you look at Tampa's roster, and DK, you said it before we came on, a bunch of guys that hadn't even started a game in the NFL went out and beat Tom Brady. Again, we beat Tom Brady today.
It's number 16 beat Tom Brady. I still don't know who 16 is. He's the right corner, the right starting outside corner. And I have developed this mental block because I see 16 in that uniform and I'm thinking of Charlie. And then Charlie Batch comes out at halftime participating in some charity toss, and he's wearing 16. And I'm like, no, Charlie, don't do that. There were so many guys, Moan, in that locker room. I was there and talking to Isaiah Loudermilk, who hadn't even gotten a hat all year, who was part of a solid defensive line. Now, I know Leonard Fournette was running like crazy, but they did good work. They got to the quarterback. They didn't bring him down. Nobody brings down Brady, but you can hurry him a little bit. They hurried him, and he was throwing these low passes. Yep. And you saw, and then Moan.
Yeah.
A couple of things to bring up with you. One, Devin Bush making the play that he did.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Not just that. I also saw Devin Bush sit down their fullback number 41 too a few times. He played with a level of physicality today too, that you got to give credit when credit in there, when credit is there. And I know what you say. Well, that's what he's supposed to do. But what I'm also saying is all of us have collectively been a group that criticized him, that called him out on a bunch of stuff. And you know what he did? He answered the call. Yes, he did his job. That play was huge, DK.
He told me, Moan, seriously, before I even had a chance to say hello, he saw me coming up to him, and he said exactly this. He said, we needed this. I needed this. Yeah. I needed to be that guy. And I'm thinking, you said what? Okay, yeah. because that hasn't been him. Okay, he's been kind of the sidekick, the passenger, or whatever. Yeah. That's not what he did. He said to him, he told me that he was watching Brady's eyes on the pass, and there's a thing that Brady does where he does the automatic look off, and then his second target's the one that he hits. Okay, So he says, "Listen, I know he's going to Godwin. This is Bush talking to me. I know he's going to Godwin. Yeah. I'm not taking my eyes off him. He's going to try to beat me. He's going to try to beat me. He's not going to beat me." Yeah. He's not going to beat me. And he didn't. That's when players rise up a notch. You mentioned Claypool. Same thing, right?
Yep.
Najee Harris. Keep going.
Yes, 100%. It was a group of guys out there today doing their thing, man. And this is the other part. Deontay's catch on the sideline. All of that, man. That? Legitimately. Like this. Somebody asked me recently, man, what kept you in the league so long? And I thought I said, knowing my deficiencies. I said, because if I know how they beat me, then I know what they're going to try first. And whenever I take that away, that's when they're playing my ball game. Devin saying that lended himself to say, I know I got some weaknesses that a guy as experienced as Tom Brady is, 20 plus years, is going to attack me. Let me take that away. And he did, DK. Here is this. A little clap, okay? A little clap is what I need to give him for understanding that. But also, Chase, you heard people even saying that on the broadcast today. Hey, this is the guy that Pittsburgh needed to see. And you saw when he got that last first down, he wasn't hurt. He just laid there to say, I'm capable of doing this.
And that's part of this that sticks out to me. There's a lot of guys that haven't been the guy, Moan. The guy. Okay, and sometimes, like I was joking with Arthur Maulet after the game, and it's fun to joke after wins, ain't it? It's great though, because but you've seen me in locker rooms too. You've seen me moving around and just talking to guys, right? And I said to Arthur Maulet, I said, when you have a team like this, there has to be, everyone can blah 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 and leadership this and leadership that. The fact of the matter is, you gotta do it. You have to take responsibility for your own self and go out and be the best player that you can be. And I said, this is really lame, like inside football talk, because it isn't. It's not. This isn't great football analysis. That's the part that I was joking with him about. He goes, but that's not. He said back. He said that's not what this was about. Yeah, we just came out there, scratched and clawed for our lives. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that I was going to say. A Pittsburgh faithful and Ryan Clark actually came back on the back end after the game and said, I criticized, I called them out, I said some stuff about them not playing hard. He was like, that's the epitome of playing hard. That's the standard of what's expected week in and week out right there, DK. And I think, honestly, collectively, all of us are at a point to where we kind of say, okay, we need to see more of that. These wins don't just happen. Those 6 Super Bowl trophies just didn't happen. Okay. And again, maybe going against guys like Tom Brady is what make you rise up to those types of occasions, because you got to admit, DK, Tom and them, they have a really good team in Tampa. And the other part of that is they are very Pittsburgh familiar too, right? With their head coach and Mike T, their offensive coordinator, their defensive coaches, even some players. They know Pittsburgh. And I don't know if that's what it took, but it was good to see it. Now that we saw it, as some coaches would say, we need to see it all the time. Miles Jack, after the game, said, people thought we were just going to go out there and like pee down our leg. We're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. Okay. Now, like what you just said, now do it again next week in Miami. When we come back, we're going to pick on one guy in particular. Welcome back to the Ramon Foster Show. For a player of the game, we could pick any number of people. We've already mentioned a few of them here. For person of the game or individual of the game, I got to tell you, Moan, that game to me personified your head coach. I know there's a lot of people that are mad and 1-4, and even now it's only just 2-4 and everything else. And there have been some bumps along the way and some things that he's done wrong and rubbed people the wrong way. But that game, those 3 hours over there across the river, that was a Mike Tomlin scene. That was a Mike Tomlin W. It was. I told you, and I tell this our listeners all the time, man, people that's watching us and listen to us on podcasts. He has a way of just lightly tapping you with the edge of the knife, just being able to just twist just a little bit to get you going. I know for a fact last week was ugly inside of that locker room. Okay. Everybody's head was down, go to work. And then comes late Thursday, Fridays, and into Saturday to where the belief in, look, man, you know who the heck you are. You know who you play for. Yes, there's been outside chatter, and it's probably been warranted too. These are some of the things he said to us when facing situations like this too. And because of that, you got to go out there and play. We saw leaders leading, okay? Veterans like Miles Jack.
leading today, right? We saw Cam. It looked like he played almost every play of defense today, man.
Unbelievable.
You're without Cam Sutton. You're without Mika. Okay, you're without Pat Frymouth on the sideline. You're
without your starting quarterback.
Without
We haven't even mentioned yet.
We didn't even mention young Kenny.
Quarterback got hurt.
No, and because of that, like this team grinds those types of wins out. Like you said, DK, hate them all you want to, but there's a level of coaching that he's able to tap into and get his players to see it too. And truthfully, sometimes it may just be a little bit of, what do you want to call it, DK? Growing pains with a new regime? What is this? Is this
I'm not about to go excusing a 1-4 start because I think that the growing pains could have been managed a lot better. And these next 2 games are still going to be massively tough. So we could still be looking at 2-6 entering the bye week and whatever else here. So I'm not ready to go that route. But yes, that exact thought that you had, I just had that coming over here from the stadium. I did. I thought to myself, listen, there were always going to be so many moving parts, unlike any season that he's had to manage, including having the trash coordinator. And by the way, that hasn't changed. He scripted one nice drive.
Okay,
was that what you were going to jump in?
No, later we'll go there. We'll just hijack the Ramon because that makes sense on what we saw. Okay, yeah, go ahead though.
But all I'm saying is he's had certain things that he's had to deal with. Some of them that he hasn't had to deal with, but has dealt with anyway, meaning of his own doing. But it's starting to look like it has something to it. Just for example, Moan, look how much different the offense looks when Chase and Deontay are players.
Yeah. Yep.
That. Just forget everything else. Forget everybody else and Pickens and all the quarterbacks. Just those two, how different the offense looks when they're catching the football.
Yes, when they're catching the football and involved also, man. I wasn't particularly satisfied with the OL play. I saw somebody say they fought good late. There was a lot of pressure on that side of the ball too. Again, these are a lot of moving parts of what this team is right now. You got OL, you got young wide receiver, you got new quarterback with an S at the end of a quarterbacks, okay? And just a bunch of just revolving door on defense. Again, no excuse. The standard is the standard. He said that, okay? With that being said, there's still room to grow within that Mike Tomlin concept of saying he gets his team ready to go. But we'll save that, DK, to Ramon.
And that, by the way, is coming up next. The only segment that matters. Welcome back to the only segment that matters. It's the Ramon segment, and it's brought to you by the Get Go Cafe and Market, where quality is at the core of every menu item. 3 expert chefs fine-tune every detail, from how classic and unexpected flavors complement each other to the order each fresh ingredient is added, so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for craveability. Yeah. Order now from Get Go Cafe and Market today. Better believe it. All right, well, here it comes.
I got this. I have this submission from this guy in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Foster.
Yeah, goes by Nomar Foster, and it reads, "Hey Mo, why is it that defenses sit on this team first and second down plays where if they even have a nice schemed up trick play, they don't fall back? Like when you have their Tampa's defensive end, number 9, get a TFL when you got Najee holding the ball, or you have certain plays that are easily busted between 5 to 7 yards around the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no.
You don't go downfield consistently enough to keep defenses honest.
No.
You don't undress a defense to where they have to be spread out. Our offensive sets are tight as heck. Nobody's moving. If you are moving back, it's a 10-yard max when it comes down to this team. The wide receivers are running 12-yard comebacks at the most, okay? Everybody's squatting on this team. We used to strategically do that sometimes in games just to get them comfortable so we can go over their heads with other coordinators that I've had in the past. I'm not opposed to it. What did Todd do? Dump off. Then what will happen? The defense gets taken off, okay? Because we will have ghost routes where you hand the ball off and a wide receiver will come around the back end of the quarterback. That'd be a ghost right there that holds the defensive end. Whenever he ran that whatever play, to who was it? It was to our guy, Steven Sims.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, you're not gonna trick a defensive end when you know majority of the time you're handing the ball off anyway.
Right.
Like, help yourself out. The passes that you are throwing are just right in front of them.
That play, by the way, just for anybody who doesn't know what he's talking about, Steven Sims coming, like they were running wide receivers behind the quarterback. That was pretty steady. But like you said, that's done mostly to keep DE off your quarterback. Yes. The DE has to follow that guy. So what you're doing with Sims is you have him running this thing that's supposed to bring the DE and does bring the DE, and Sims is the size of one of the DE's legs. Yes. And there he goes.
It was Joe Tryon Shoyinka. And I'm thinking to myself, yes, of course he's going to block two guys because it's either not just getting the ball and he's meeting them in the hole so everybody else come around. Or if it's Steven Sims, well, of course you're going to get him right there, man. There is no level of schematics in this play calling other than scripted drives, it seems like, when it comes down to this offense. And I hate it for the guys because it's either quick run, inside zone, try to toss again. The tosses are killing me. You don't set them up. Either guys are getting getting knocked back, or the defense, is just right there. And of course, like I said, good game, not a great game from the OL. But when you set them up to where they're just completely just getting bulldozed back into the quarterback lap, when there's no pocket movement, like if you know that defense is upfield, drop off the screen game or do something. Yeah.
Do something to move it. And even when Kenny was in there wasn't any pocket movement. And we've seen how effective he is, and by the way, how effective Mitch Trubisky is on rollouts. It's one of the reasons that you liked both of those guys. The only times that Kenny and or Mitch, to their credit, gained yards was when?
Is whenever they were scrambling, moving around.
They went straight forward.
Yeah.
They busted the pocket by going forward. But there wasn't anything that was designed that was taking them side to side.
No, it wasn't, man. And it's so frustrating because you see the athletic ability of Mitch and also Kenny too. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is an advantage. Take advantage of it while keeping them safe. I'm not telling you to run them. What I'm telling you is, you just straight handing the ball off or dropping back and expecting the O-line to hold up for 50 plus plays at a time. That's a telltale way of losing. And then if you're keeping the offense 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, that's another way.
What's the first place I go in the locker room when the door's open, Moan?
Big boys.
I went right back to your corner. Okay.
Yep.
And who's the first people that I consult on what actually happened in the game?
Yep. The big boys.
Because who knows everything that happened in the game. Okay.
The big boys.
So I spent a little bit of time with those guys, and I always do that first. And I got some pretty good feedback on this. They acknowledged their mistakes. They didn't like they didn't like a couple of the holding calls. You know how that goes. Okay. That guy was picking on me, and all I did was we got tangled up and I fell back and he grabbed this. Okay, fine. All right. I accept that. However, when the OL guys tell me, and you learn to trust them, you learn to trust guys, okay, that aren't BSing you and whatever else here, this is why I was so happy to hear you say that they found that fight in the fourth quarter.
They did.
Okay, but guess what? That's when they were allowed to fight. That's how they feel about it. Okay. Wow. Because what they were trying to do was to manage a static pocket, like you said, through the whole game. But what happened in the fourth quarter was somebody somewhere, I don't know if it was Canada or whatever, said, we are going to win this game by pounding the SOB right down their throats.
Yep.
Okay. And they did. And they did. Najee was running like like he was on fire.
He was. They even did a wildcat with him.
And they did. That wasn't so hot, but
they did.
But they were running and they were blocking. And Kevin Dotson looks at me and says, "Did you see that?" And I said, "Yes, I saw it." And I respect that. I always respect that extra glimmer that's in the eye of the offensive lineman when they're talking about run blocking, because they want you to be able to say, "Yeah, but did you see me throw that dude on his rear end?"
But because this is the worst part of it, man. Your job is to go backwards. You don't want to be getting pushed backwards the entire time. Like, Vita Vea is a big dude, okay?
Yes.
We're not going to act like they just got some small dudes on their team. Their linebackers are heavy guys. Devin White is a big linebacker. Levante David, big linebacker. And they're coming downhill. And then on top of that, you got run support with Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, there's a lot that goes on as far as the O-line goes when you expect them to just drop back or you want them to just do little cute stuff. No, go at them, DK, as you said. Go
at them. That's what you know, in a lot of cases, part of the stuff that you were saying in the last segment about Tomlin having to deal with certain things and adjusting things and whatever. Okay, great. The coordinators should be doing that week to week. And you need to recognize and feel what kind of players it is that you have. When we're talking about identity, okay, if your offensive linemen are telling you, man, just let us block for 22. Let us do something here. Okay, they had a chance, Moan, to win the game. No, two. They had two chances to win the game. And they succeeded on both of them, meaning the drive that resulted in the touchdown. But way more impressive to me was the drive after that, the one that ate the clock. Because what did they do? Boom,
right at them.
Boom. First time all season.
Yep, 100%, man. So again, as you said, there's no excuses for what they are right now, but there's room for improvement. I think all of us see when it comes down to this 2022 team.
Hey, this guy was good. We should have him on the show all the time.
You know what? I know him. I've kind of watched film with him a little bit. He kind of understands the game. I think he's from Hendersonville, Tennessee, too. Nomar Foster. Tennessee.
Nomar Foster, indeed. Make sure you get Nomar to subscribe to us wherever he found this podcast and to leave a really glowing review.
Absolutely.
About the totally unrelated other guy who happens to be the star of the show. Let's do it again tomorrow there, Nomar.